Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Problems right out of the gate. We're going to get a delay. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a 1st and 10. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. Without the previous penalty, that would have been a 1st down. Instead, it's just a gain of 10.
Now, this defense for the Ravens, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And the big difference in the ball game, their ability to force turnovers, 3 of them, in fact. Being able to take the ball away, give it back to their offense, that's something that's emphasized each and every week, and they carried it out.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
So not quite a 1st down just yet as they come up on 2nd and less than a yard. Following the penalty, Chubb, and he'll be upended at the 33 following a gain of 3. And guess what? It brings up 3rd down.
Well, you know, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying it's not rosy. Whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? Not possible, so I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope, and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be brought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
These two teams, they met up earlier in the year, back in Week 2. And it was the visiting Browns who got the victory then, so they'll look for the season sweep here in Cleveland.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Mayfield.
Got an open man at Schwartz.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46. A first carry now for Kareem Hunt. He'll get this up to the 34, and
a good lane opening up right away for him.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Flag comes in. This might be a free play.
And he'll let this go deep for Lazard.
And that'll be incomplete. The flag was down, so they took a shot, thinking it's on the defense. Let's see. Now they'll try to take advantage of that offsides call. Here's 1st and 5. From the shotgun, it's Mayfield.
Open man here, Schwartz, complete.
That catch good for only a couple.
Three yards remain for 2nd down.
From the gun, Mayfield. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be 3rd down.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
7th play of the drive now as they come up on a 3rd and 3. They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And he's going to be taken down here, still a couple yards short of the first. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. They'll run for it. Chubb. And he's going to have a 1st down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. Inside the red zone here. They'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Working out of the gun. Mayfield sliding out of the pocket.
He'll find Schwartz, complete right side.
And the Browns are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
That's a big league job there of getting out of the pocket, not panicking, and just buying himself some time. Then he made a good, accurate throw to set up 1st and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door. 1st and goal. They'll run with Chubb. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. It's second and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that, because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Can't afford another delay here as they come up again on second and goal. Mayfield looks to throw. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. A great play there with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Browns take it right down the field and score on the opening drive. The extra point by McLaughlin is up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Following the touchdown, here's McLaughlin to kick off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing to start the drive. Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago. There's another one right there.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. To throw is Jackson. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. Call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And, Charles, what a battle this is within the division, because these guys, they've got the lead, but not by much. On the other side of the field, they're knocking on the door and trying to equal them in the wins category.
And I love that second part that you talked about, equaling them in the wins category, because if somehow you get down to the end of the year and they're tied in record, head-to-head's always the first tiebreaker. So the winner of this game, they'll have a big advantage.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Now Chubb running right. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39.
43 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far.
A good run there off right tackle in an old-school NFL football. The right side of the offensive line, often known as the nasty side. The left side, usually the technical side. Kind of reminds me of the old Atlanta Falcons 2009-2010.
Now Mayfield lost the football. Again, he finds an opening.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And that'll set him back 5. The delay of game backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Play action now. Here's Mayfield. They'll roll him out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
Oh, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
Still 15 yards to go, 2nd down.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
And he'll let this go deep for Lazard.
And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
And his kick here is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip.
So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Nothing for them yet from an offensive standpoint, down 10-zip as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw.
He'll dump this off, complete to Dobbins.
And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a 1st down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him, and try and cover it.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and it goes down. It'll only be a loss of a couple, but the pressure gets home on first down. Now following the sack, they'll come up here on a 2nd down and 12. Now Jackson. He'll check this down to Dobbins out of the backfield. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson going for the deep ball. And unable to connect, incomplete. Well, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
Coverage was awfully tight there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Browns will take over with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. The Browns drive about to get started.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
1st down, Mayfield. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact. But in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well. Incomplete.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Mayfield. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
They have to like what they've done defensively here at the outset of this drive. They forced a couple of incomplete passes, bring up a 3rd and 10. Don't be surprised to bring a little pressure on this snap.
On 3rd down, Mayfield. Flush to his right. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Deshaun Elliott. And he will bring this back. It's a pick 6 and a Raven touchdown.
Well, you don't want to coach him, Charles, to stay in the pocket on every play, but I guess that's the danger of getting outside of the pocket, extending a play, and making a bad throw. Turns into 6 points the other way.
Yeah, sometimes when you get outside the pocket, your vision actually gets obscured a little bit, or you narrow it down too much, and you don't see all the defenders in the area.
Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And not a good return here at all as they'll be forced to start at the 12-yard line.
The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And they may just be content to take this 3-point lead and head into the locker room.
Pick 6, Mayfield.
Oh, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds.
A lot of times it's called a jailbreak. It wasn't quite that fast, but fast enough that he had no time to look downfield and set himself to throw the ball. And as he tried to do that, he was hit, and it forced an incompletion.
On 2nd and 10, Mayfield. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Mayfield on 3rd down from his end zone. Rolling to his right. He's going to have the hook up to Schwartz. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with 4th down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down. So on 4th down, here's Johnny Townsend to punt it. He only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. And a fair catch is called for. He will take it in to give his guys some excellent field position here. So we have reached halftime here in Cleveland with the Browns on top. As we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, the Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Only needing 2 yards on 2nd down. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Not enough there for a first. No gain, as a matter of fact. And it leaves them at 3rd and 1. On 3rd and 1, Jackson.
Open man is Duvernay. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
That's a play that will likely be forgotten when you talk about big moments in this game. But plays like this are critical to keep drives going. And if points result, we'll call this play significant.
And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the 2nd round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football in the backfield? Be able to get him in the 2nd round? That's what I call a steal.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A give. Dobbins trying the right side.
And they'll work it inside the 15-yard line before it's all said and done.
That one definitely helps as they try to push the ball down the field here, trailing early in the 3rd quarter.
And even though they're trailing, not abandoning the running game. People may call it an adjustment. I think it's just much more sticking to what works for you and continuing to have faith in it. And the running game is starting to pay off.
Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big.
And they'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown. Gus Edwards. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens have taken the lead. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is now 14-10. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
The Browns drive about to get started.
And they'll be working from behind now following the touchdown a moment ago on the opening drive of the half.
I think the guys right now, as they go out on offense, they're zeroing in on one big key. They don't have to do anything differently just because they're down on the scoreboard now. The intent, still the same in what they plan to do on offense.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
Frustrating for a defense, energizing for an offense. Finding a way to create that type of yardage in your running game, that'll make the guys carrying the ball very, very happy.
They run it again with Chubb. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Here now, Johnny Townsend, as he'll punt it away for the second time. Fielded at about the 28. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds.
13 yards the tally on the return there.
And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Well, these two teams met in Cleveland earlier in the year with the Browns coming out on top. So they'll be looking for the win here in Cleveland to complete the season sweep.
Jackson now on 2nd and 10.
And that'll be complete to Dobbins.
They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Play action. It's Jackson. He'll buy some time right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he takes it down deep into enemy territory. It's a big play there for Baltimore.
We see this happen so often. If you're a defender, it's like watching a bad movie over and over. The pressure is good, forcing the quarterback out of the pocket. But it's a lot to ask for these defenders to stay plastered to receivers long enough. And sure enough, they let a man come open, and the connection leads to a big play.
They'll run with Dobbins. And he goes backwards on this one, losing yardage to the 7. That sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably doing play action since you ran it twice.
And he will take it in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, his 9th touchdown of the season.
And the Ravens are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage.
Tucker with the extra point, and that makes it a 21-10 game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. The Cleveland offense ready to go.
And the script really is flipped for them. The momentum on the other sideline, and now they have to try and battle back from a 2-score deficit. Mayfield's throw pulled in by Schwartz.
He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. From the 31, Mayfield. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Anthony Averett picks it, and the Ravens will take over here just shy of the 30. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, just shy of the 30.
They'll start with a handoff to Dobbins. 48 yards rushing for him now on what was his 10th carry of the ball game.
Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Here's Dobbins. It's a 1st down and more for Dobbins.
And he's got it across the 50 to the 47-yard line. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, at this stage, that's exactly what you want offensively. Good run on 1st down, stay in bounds, keep that clock rolling.
And look at that play chart that the play caller has in his hands right now. That's what you got to focus in on, because that's divided up by sections. And right now, he's looking at that 4-minute offense section. What running plays do we have to bleed down the clock and take care of the football? Right now, they're executing really well.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
Here's a give to Dobbins running right.
And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter.
A shotgun snap and a give to Dobbins.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Two minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. And the scoreboard on their side, they're just looking to melt away these final couple of minutes and put this one in the left-hand column. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. This will be caught by Brown. Whistles now and a timeout. So defensively, they burn it here with 1:51 left.
Excuse my snarkiness here, but isn't the idea of completing a pass supposed to mean you get downfield and gain yards?
Especially on 3rd down.
Yeah, that one. How about the defense? Figured that one out in a big way. Yeah, they completed it all right and lost yardage.
So Jackson will head to the Ravens sideline, and on comes Justin Tucker for the field goal try. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will get the lead up to 14.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire contest, but he's able to connect.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, They want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Browns drive about to get started. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10.
Here's Baker.
Man over the middle, and it's complete. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
Now Mayfield.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Tavon Young.
And the Ravens are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line.
The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something, and they did in this one. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, but what a second half. The adjustment, whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it was just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Ravens, their good start continues as they get their record up to 4-2. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for the Browns, the loss will drop them to 4-2 on the year. And they'll look to get back on the beam next week as they host the Pittsburgh Steelers. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, we thank our entire crew. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This is the NFL on EA Sports.